All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
We are here in Penang, Malaysia. Day 3.
Big day.
Indeed. And we have Lyres, Freeth from New Zealand.
Versus Esther Perrins, a rest of world team. Rest of world team is in first place. That's a very high ranking. It's the highest.
Why don't we go through? We've got 13 points for Team Rest of the World. And United States has 13 points as well. But Team Rest of the World has 2 more individual wins. It's the first tiebreaker. So that's why they're in first.
And rest of the world up to a big start. Lyres seems to have scored 72 for dead ends. Wow.
It's a good way to start there from Lyres. What have we got on Esther's side? Can't see her rack.
Cool. Kumar is working on it. Rest of the world team is Adam Logan, Lewis Mackey, Austin Shin, Esther Perrins, and Teresa Brousson. I mean, that team is good top to bottom. Even the 5th seed Teresa has been crushing it on this feed. She's played 2 games on the featured board and played spectacular boards in both games. Takaho, Smorzato.
Esther's got Beehive lined up on her rack.
Is that Esther or is that Lyres?
Oh, I'm sorry. That is Lyres. You're correct. Still don't know. Oh, I see. The rack's been typed out for Esther. Gawk? Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah. Another option was uked as an overlap above dead ends. Or gawked. I'm not. But gawked him very well. I guess it doesn't really give anything back, and it keeps the best possible leave. Especially given there's an end to play through, S to play through. Oh, great playing.
Good evening / morning to you as well, Josh Sokol and Jalapik. Lucas says, if I understand right, odds of opening with bingo are 1 in 9. Yet Quackle does it 1 in 4 times in his sample of 100 games. Jason Katz-Brown, what's going on?
Sounds like Quackle's a very good player. Is that like only on the opening play? I don't know. I mean, 100 isn't a huge sample size. Maybe try more.
Hello, Zev Kaufman. Welcome.
Oh, so I guess she was wondering whether Beehive could go down to the D. It turns out it can, but I was not aware of this. She's taken the, I guess, like Team Oceania region advice of only playing words you know are words.
Mm-hmm. And yes, Josh, we are aware that you can't see Esther's rack. We've mentioned it to Kumar, and we'll see if that can get fixed.
But it sounds like Kumar is somehow knowing the rack anyway and putting it onto the feed. So it looks like it's DEELRTT, which is fortuitous. Play like lettered.
Yes, Scrabble Liz says, go Lyres. Yeah, so far so good.
Yeah. Am I right that Lyres is either engaged or married to Alistair Richards?
I actually don't know.
I think so. And I think, I don't know, some part of that story is why Alistair is representing New Zealand in this tournament.
I know Alistair's gone down there. It was related to his studies, I believe, and work after, but I'm not sure about the rest of what happened after that.
Alistair's now working as a doctor in New Zealand full time. So he's now a New Zealander, and he married Lyres. that means over half the New Zealand team are Richards.
Nice.
Oh.
I don't know if you could hear that. Barry Harridge, our tournament director, I could hear him through our headsets sharing that story. But if you can't hear it, let us know. We'll recount that story for you.
Oh, we're getting a wedding rep. We'd love to hear more about their gorgeous wedding. And we also can't wait to hear more about the future upcoming weddings of Austin and Evans. Cool. Letter. I wonder why she played Letter there, because she's still a bit behind. And this location is... I guess it's equally opening, given that you have a floating E, either playing it above or below. And that was clever, because if she plays it up there, it opens up the upper half of the board in a way that was otherwise tricky. And if she played it at the bottom, like that part of the board is going to be open anyway. And she keeps the big S hook of VST open. Good thinking.
Hello, Rebecca Slivka. Welcome back to the feed. Esther Perrins is lining up Mizuna, except I don't see the A. Well, there's one now, but I don't think that'll be ideal. Good morning, Aaron Bader. Welcome back. And my Trude Oz, I'm guessing an Australian. Hello. Rebecca says she's signed up for notifications. Good call.
Oh, excellent.
And yes, Aaron, it's been some firepower early on.
Yeah, so far the play has been perfect, and I guess a modular beehived, but yeah, Hedra seemed like the best play also.
For those of you who aren't as familiar with Esther, she particularly shot up as far as reputation went after placing third, and that was at the 2015 WESPA Championship that was held in Perth, Australia. And it was really at that point, for people who weren't as familiar with some of the more local tournaments, they just got to see how good she really is.
Yeah, she was winning everything. So the featured board is no stranger to her.
Ah, that's who it is. We've got some fans for both of the women here. Love it.
Excellent. Oh, here comes Prattles. Huh, she's playing Prattles, which takes the S. She could play Splatter, but she wants more fireworks.
It's working for her so far.
Yeah.
Currently up a commanding 131.
Oof. Yeah, the interview with Teresa was awesome. She has such a good attitude, and she's so good. And I'm still unclear to me what the story is with Smorzato, because I guess she thought it was a squash drop shot.
I can talk about that actually.
Yeah.
So we talked a bit later after, and she said the Smorzata with the A at the end is the drop shot in squash. So that one doesn't work in Scrabble, but that's where she's familiar with it. And it actually works as far as the definition goes, because smorzato is an adjective related to something that's dulling and dying down. And a drop shot is basically that. It's something that's dying, essentially, on the court. So, similar idea.
Nice. It sounded like she thought that it has a plural in Scrabble that it does not. So, I guess now we all know that. I did not know any of that. I feel like squash is a very popular sport among Charlotte players. Chris May got me into squash. We together bought into a PSA Squash TV membership.
Huh.
We were addicted to watching squash. I kind of fell out of that. I'm not sure if he has. Then we played squash together once. And then yesterday I learned that Adam Logan loves squash.
Huh. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, he is an athlete, even when it does not appear.
I have some news for the stream. It was just announced this morning, so I can tell all of you as well.
Tell us.
All right. So this event will be returning.
Whoa.
So in 2020, we're going to have the exact same location for this event here.
This
So
is huge.
if anyone wants to play at this latest iteration of the Causeway Challenge, now the Alchemist Cup, make sure you get your rating up and qualify for your country. I'm going to certainly try. I'd love to represent Team Canada. We couldn't field a team this time, but for 2020, I would love to play. I see you, Jackson. I know you don't like this dictionary as much, but we need you. You got to play.
Great idea.
Lucas says, see you there, Jesse. Excellent. Work on that qualifying for USA. And Aaron Bader asks if we can reintroduce Lyres. He doesn't think he's seen her play before.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe she can come introduce herself. That would probably be ideal. Or maybe Barry knows more. Barry, do you know more about Lyres that you could use to introduce her?
What's that?
Can you tell us more about Lyres so we can give her a proper introduction?
I don't know a great deal more about her, really.
Oh man, I think we should just get her to introduce herself.
I think that's a fair way to do it. At this rate, she'll get to have a victory interview as well.
Yeah, excellent.
Josh Sokol says he is 100% attending for Canada as well. That's awesome. 3 of us already. That's good because Michael was mentioning he wants commitment as early as possible, because what happens is one team at the bottom of the standings for this event will be relegated, and there's only limited room for that spot to be filled, so he needs commitment. Adam Logan would likely come back, so that'd be 4th. And we need one more.
So Esther played oof. That was a strong play. Queckle seemed to prefer options that kept the I and the O both, either playing of or oft. But I don't see anything wrong with oof, except that it gave back Oxo, which is sad for the direction of the game.
Esther's got malting lined up. Scrabble Liz says that Lyres started playing tournaments quite young. She was about 9 years old, but she didn't play too much as a youngster.
Interesting. Oh wow, that's a very clever way of measuring how often Quackle opens with a bingo. but keep in mind that when you do that, the other player won't have the letters that you have on your rack. So maybe you can't set your rack to nothing. Oh, you could expand the bag by putting in a rack that can exist, and then set your rack to that one letter, and then it would work. A more random rack. It's quite the notion.
Glucoside says, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the stream. Jason with the Quackle hacks.
I mean, people have asked me about Quackle this tournament, and I'm honestly surprised that there isn't a better program yet. Or I'm also, I guess, surprised that people haven't improved its strategy more. Like, Cesar and John both have written their own code, made their own Quackles better, but they haven't kind of released it into the wild. And I hope that somebody does eventually. Because, like, there's lots of... Like, the last time we improved Quackle's actually, like, playing skill was before the Toronto Human-Computer Showdown, like, a decade ago. There's lots of, like, easy things we could do to make it a better player. So hopefully, maybe someday.
Aaron Bader mentions there is a lease, but it's not open source, he thinks.
Yeah, it sounds like a lease just needs to be able to have, like, the new words, and then people would use it. Seems like a pity that it's such a great program. It just becomes obsolete just because of dictionary updates. I'd love to see that give Quackle competition again. What do you think Esther's going to go for? Just to give her a chance of coming back from 150. I don't have any good ideas. That's why I'm not saying anything. Do you have an idea, Jesse?
If this were ISC, I'd hit the resign button.
That's a solid idea.
But in real life, let's see.
Glam.
Glam's actually decent. I don't mind that.
Boxing also a solid idea.
Peter Armstrong says drop the M somewhere. That was high on the static list as well.
Mm-hmm. Another Quackle idea is amping through the P of Prettles. It's the highest scoring play, and that creates kind of two hotspots. It also creates a huge Q spot. It would put the I next to the double letter score on the triple word column. That seems fast.
Yeah, Rebecca, I just noticed that it obscured the other rack, so I'll let him know. Kumar, on the overhead view, the other rack is invisible again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Satings. Oh, those are nice letters.
feel like putting on the headphones has made Jesse very self-conscious and quiet, which I'm very sad about. I guess we put these on so that we could have people call in at some point. Like, I think Kenji is committed and Harshan is committed. But until then, it's quite something to hear yourself.
It's a bit different. Let's see here.
Diorama is a session. Yeah, it opens up a bit. One idea from Paco is Marabi.
Marabi's interesting. Huh.
But
Glucoside says probably not the ideal play for diorama, but Aaron Bader argues it does play a lot of letters, and that is a good idea when you have a large lead. Gets you to the end of the game faster. Rebecca Slivka mentions ambroid that she just learned. There's just no spot on this board for it. Oh, the horn you're hearing is actually the printer over at Barry Harridge's desk as it's printing.
Barry, what are you printing?
I'm printing out all the GCG things all the annotated games we need to get with chapters.
Oh, cool.
Is that too much of a noise?
No, it's great. It's great. It really sounds like a train.
Aaron, actually, it looks like... Oh, I see. You're giving us a puzzle. Or no, never mind. Jackson is correcting it. Yeah, it's just tassing or some form of it.
Well, I agree with Trillian that amping was best, especially because of the huge Q spot it makes. It opens up like a 100-point Q spot, which is the kind of thing she needs to get back in the game.
Lyres has opted for Amir, trying to make it more difficult to use a setup there.
Yeah, I wouldn't really balk that because the S hook on Beasties is just as, or Hedras is just as potent. And she doesn't really need to play any defense to win this game. She just needs to score points. I feel like the high turnover earlier in the game used to be the predominant strategy 20 years ago.
That was the previous way of thinking. Yeah, I remember that was very prominent. There goes Gastrons from Esther. Yeah, glucoside, that's one of the counter arguments to the turnover strategy. Essentially, it's what you're discussing is variance. You know, there's variance towards picking the perfect rack and towards picking a bad one, just because there's simply more options.
Yeah. So now she has the board. The letters aren't updated underneath her camera, but she has two O's.
We'll just get Kumar to update that rack on the left to have 2 O's and 1 A, and then it will be exactly what we're seeing.
So this game's closer, right? So 82 points difference. And quite open. Yeah, like, but why would, I guess Lyres doesn't, or Lyres is not thinking of Spraddles, because like she wouldn't block that Olm spot, because this S spot of Spraddles is bigger and better. So that could be an advantage for Esther to come back with.
Yeah, her rack is close to something. I was looking and thinking Byramus is almost there if there was a U instead, and then I was looking at Amboina, which is not quite there, and it's a whole bunch of almosts. I'm letting my imagination run wild again, just like yesterday. The mocking racks, the almost racks.
Yeah, BW Rainbow suggests Buai. Paco likes Buai as well. It seems to be sitting best. Probably because it blocks Spraddles, which Lyres doesn't seem to be thinking of anyway. He's played Ambo.
Lucas Freeman says, I just saw a ribosomal. Well, there you go. The master of anatomy and science is showing his knowledge.
Ambo is, not great. It's weird that she'd open another lane while leaving a bad lead. Especially you'd want to use an eye because there's 5 eyes left out of 38 tiles.
KV for a quick 40 points.
Huh. Oh, it's interesting to, so the EU leave is, I guess that's a risk she's willing to take. It could turn into really good things if he draws Constance or the Q. And she needs to be lucky anyway, so it's good to take the points. Good thinking. Another option there was UEY in the same place, leaving ACEV, which is equally has upsides and downsides.
Neither rack looking particularly pretty, but Esther's is looking especially dreadful. I'd be dumping a good chunk of them if I were Esther. You gotta be able to catch up. Just too many turns you'd be wasting trying to balance that, playing through it. Daj City says vowel porn.
Yeah, Lyres is a really nice play, but Cockle points out that you could have played it. You could have played the same letters in the same, almost the same place, playing I Rage or the D, making Wed and Gar. So that would have been 6 more points.
Lyres has played a solid game. Esther's now got cling. Jump cakes suggest ironiest for Lyres next turn. That's one option. There is also pointier with the PM prattles, so there should be a bonus next turn. It's just a question of which one. Bader mentions poitrine. Very good French knowledge there, sir.
What does poitrine mean?
Poitrine, referring to breast, like as in something like turkey breast, for example.
Oh. Looks like she has Tenerini also.
Tenerini, I think, is the better of all the options. And thank you, Glucoside. Je peux gérer assez bien en français aussi, but Josh Sokol, the actual French speaker in the chat, might think differently. Bonjour, je m'appelle moi. Nice.
So if Lyres plays Tenerini, then Esther would have a home for Clinged. So we can hope for that.
Interesting.
Cool. Timing Crackle is not cheating? Or maybe it only cheats if it is actually playing a game. But no, I think it means that Guaco doesn't cheat. That's good. Thanks for...
And he would ask about it. It's, I could try doing that. I don't do that because that's a lot more upload time. I mean, that's with 50 mil files uploaded, reread. Maybe possibly after. Yeah. I mean, at the moment I can see.
Wait, she played OI?
Yes.
Maybe she saw Pointier, but not Tenerini, and then thought Pointier was too dangerous?
I am not sure, my good man. Glucoside points out she might not necessarily have missed them. Maybe she's opted not to bonus. I'm not really sure about that, because if you see Tenerini, there's absolutely no reason to not play it. You could perhaps justify not playing Ironiest or Pointier Patrin just because of what it does to give plays in response, but there's nothing wrong with ever playing Tenerini. Peter Armstrong suggests that perhaps the only one she missed was Tenerini, and then the other ones she thought was too dangerous. That's possible. It's a plausible explanation. Lacing, giving herself an opportunity to triple perhaps.
Yeah, the Italian high-flip bonuses can be tricky to spot. So the Google side, I agree.
Because Tenerino is there, as Peter Armstrong has pointed out. First the plural, now the singular. Esther's just not catching a break with the EV and 2Us. An optioner is coming down.
That's not a
They're
word.
going to check the word. That'll be taken off the board.
Oh my. Wow, Esther, how has a path to victory? That kind of gives her an opening, eh?
It does.
What should she do now that she has a chance?
Kumar putting up the invalid play. Gotta ring that bell like
Yes, you should get a DJ horn.
I can add that in.
Please.
Yes, we'll have that.
Yes.
You know what you also could do is, actually it might not be as big of a thing in this part of the world, but did you ever see The Price is Right in North America?
Have you ever seen Scrabble played in Thailand?
You could just have the Price is Right fail soundtrack when they don't win the showcase. When they do it at the end, do 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 dong.
No, but we should get sound effects that celebrate. Like on every bingo, have like a big, like a omniway like sound saying bingo.
I like that too.
We could just record your voice when you show up those things.
Well, I don't know about Uva there. What?
Let's see. Lyres looks cold, says Brenjam.
It is
that
very
literally or figuratively or both?
I was super cold yesterday because these rooms were all freezing.
They're a little cooler, but I like the cold. Maybe I'm crazy. I'm Canadian.
Oh, I hate it. Wait, I don't like Uva. What, she had some good options like unpaved that would have opened up more lines that score a lot and kept the U. Oh, now she's gotten the Q and no blank. She needs a blank. But Uva didn't keep good letters, didn't turn over things for the blank. It didn't score much.
Well, Quaid is a likely play through the AM Prattles next turn. Will help her get closer and closer. Let's see, how many in the bag? We can give that answer to you in a moment, Aaron Bader. Jennifer Lee, that is Kumar talking off screen. The man we have referred to. You now can put a voice to the name.
Well, we should invite them onto the broadcast.
We could well do.
When do you think the right moment is?
Glucoside says, liking the pop-up graphics, by the way, would like to see more of them on screen. Kumar has noted it, and that will encourage him to do more. We're going to turn into Las Vegas Strip before long on our screen with all these lights and flashing things. And yes, as pointed out, inotrope is the valid anagram for optioner.
What an interesting game. Origin was good to use lots of tiles, and she's not going to bingo.
Alright, we have a guest in studio with
Whoa.
us. He has done his game. Evans Clinchy. Thank you for coming by.
No worries, guys. I lost super fast, so I figured I had some free time.
Cool. We have an exciting game going on.
Oh, do we?
It could go either way.
So Lyres is ahead by 80, but Esther has something good?
Yeah, it's Esther's turn.
She's got Quaid.
For the AF Prattles. And then she could draw a blank and bingo.
She could. Okay. ENN.
Oh, I don't know if she should play the D, because there's lots of vowels in the bag. There's 12 unseen, and 7 of those are vowels.
Ooh, a lot of eyes.
Someone says hello.
Oh, hi, sweetie, again.
And the reason I think she might want to keep the D is there's the consonants in the bag are F, P, W, T. Those are not good
I think
consonants.
she's in bad shape. That's some weird letters.
F-I-A-U. Oh, she drew the vowels. Infane.
Oh, she
open A.
didn't. Oh, she didn't draw a blank.
Well, that makes it harder to bingo.
Oh.
Considerably.
Yeah, this doesn't look very good for her. So now there's one in the bag.
Yeah. Oh, she drew everything but the blank. Oh,
the blank's in the bag. Oh no.
Wow.
Even if she had drawn it, it might have been tough to get anything.
Does she even have a play from the?
Nothing through the
Queen,
Q.
Queena. Because the letter is there.
There's a letter in the way. It'd be amazing if a lettered was good.
We had an hook that didn't come up to the end of the game yesterday with a slope.
A slope, nice.
And it turns out that Noeen had seen it all along. And we thought maybe he hadn't. Seems like Sprattles is not going to be a factor this time. With the blank in the bag, a one-tile play seems fairly unlikely.
Lyres kept dodging bullets.
From Lyres' perspective, is there stuff she needs to block? I don't even know. Oh, I guess Epiphana? She probably needs to block Epiphana from her perspective. Like, if one of the ends is in the bag...
Yeah, good point. There's not...
If one of the ends is in the bag, are there any other bingos besides Epiphana? Like, is there anything through the O on the right side?
Good question.
Probably
you
not.
also have to... There you go. You also have to...
That's a good play from her perspective, yeah.
Assuming the F is in the bag instead, and there's the blank instead of the F there, it's a formidable rack.
Yeah.
But where it would play is the issue.
Right, I don't think there's anything through the O with either of those racks. So I think as long as you block words through the P, yeah, I think that's a very good play. I mean, we know that she's going to win anyway, but...
Oh, there was Fountain, if the E's in the bag.
Oh, if the E? I didn't think of the E being in the bag, wow. It's a joy to watch the creator of Quackle use Quackle.
Oh, or Unpained, if the F was in the bag.
Oh, okay, so there's Oh, but that's through the P also. Okay.
Yeah.
So blocking the P is
Oh,
definitely the
right.
right play for her. Right.
Right.
She did it right.
Right. Yeah. Great point. Yeah. Oh.
And has she given herself outs in 2 spots? She probably has. I just haven't found them yet.
Aaron Bader points out Esther wants to play unfair because that's how she felt about how this game went.
Yes.
Is parati good? Like paratus parati?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best line seems to be unfine, which also describes.
Oh, because that blocks parati. That's probably
So she's playing Fen, keeping Unai.
blocking like the more obvious outs, like poetic and whatnot. Hope she misses parati. There's probably other outs though, right? Oh, there's a million other outs. I'm blind. Ooh, orogenetic.
Ooh, orogenetic. What are all the extensions of origin?
Glucoside says, and she's missed fake.
That.
That's not a word.
Is that a fake word?
Is that a joke? Any other thoughts from your game? You just lost quickly.
Yeah, Kanyapon played fun words. He played Euphuist with a blank H for a double.
Euphuist, double.
Yeah, it was like 86 or
Blank
something.
H.
Yeah,
High
and then
class.
he got the other blank and played Mantilla.
Oh my.
I don't know. I put up a fight. I played a couple bingos too, but it was not enough. He scored 500 something, and yeah,
Cool.
it happens. Dave lost too, so we are in bad shape for this match against Thailand. We're probably going to lose.
Ooh, things are tightening at the top.
Yeah, well, we were in first place. We've now lost 3 in a row. Well, if we don't come back and win 3-2, then we've lost 3 in a row.
Oh, so Spraddles is being played.
Exciting.
Best in Scrabble, so that's cool.
Oh, they're
And
challenging
that's a
it.
challenge,
Oh
so
my.
There we go. We know one of them knew the word and the other did not.
So his best here was point
Looks like they're going to check it.
on top of origin.
Point is a nice overlap.
That would be 32.
Yeah, that would be really sweet.
But it makes sense to challenge it because you would win if it were not a word.
Aaron says, very good choice to challenge here, even if you're 99% sure it's good. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair. As
absolutely.
mentioned, if it's not a word and you can go out, then you win. So
Yeah.
in this team event where spread doesn't matter so much, it's a great idea.
Yes, if something is the only way to win, you should do it. That is a good general rule to follow.
So yeah, solid game to start off our day on the stream here between Lyres and
I like the
Esther.
whole definition thing. That's cool.
So
Yeah, really
Sprattle is scores. To scramble.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get some coffee. You guys have fun, all right?
All right, enjoy your coffee.
Thank you for
Good luck in
joining
your
us.
next game.
Esther kept the level of play really high, but then started drawing very badly. And then
Yeah,
Lyres just had
Jennifer.
a few word knowledge misses.
Sorry, Jason, I didn't mean to railroad over you. Yeah, Jennifer, more and more features that we had talked about putting onto the stream are being added now that the core elements are there. We had talked about lots of these during our planning for the event, and it's great to see it come into fruition, so glad you're enjoying.
Should we get an interview? I'm not sure.
Can always try.
Can always try. Oh yeah, we need to get more information about Lyres.
Hey, we have a treat here. We've got multiple people coming in studio. So do we have another chair? I can just stand up. I'll stand up. We'll let them sit
I don't
down.
particularly want to be on camera.
You don't? Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't.
They love you. They were
Well.
so happy with the game from both of you.
Oh, it's terrible. Well, I mean, it was. I couldn't pull a trick.
Well, talk to us a bit about this terrible game.
Oh. Well, I mean, when Lyres played the false word, I did consider changing 7 to try and get the blank.
Yeah.
But there was still U's and V. Oh, there was still a lot of rubbish in the bag, and I thought, well, if I just play UVA and keep UNDE or whatever, maybe get the blank, and then I can bingo.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm seeing QU blank bonuses.
But I couldn't pull a trick as you saw.
How surprised were you when your last tile out of the bag was a blank?
It was unexpected. I was seeing Epifauna. She's going to play Epifauna. I've got to block that spot.
Yeah, that was great. We were thinking, that's the one main one we were thinking about.
Yeah.
We blocked the possibility, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Some nice
I would
firepower.
like to see. I would have seen that if I'd had it, but no. Nah, and then with the quail, I thought, well, got a chance.
Good score.
So I got to tell the feed a little bit about you, because we have met before, of course. The first time was in Perth when the WESPA Championship was there.
Yeah.
But there's people who aren't as familiar with you, and they were asking us about your background. So we mentioned a little bit. Someone mentioned you started when you were younger in New Zealand, but didn't play so much then, and more so now. So maybe you can fill in the gap for us, how you've come to Scrabble.
So my mum has always been really into Scrabble. She played at club level. I played in my first tournament when I was 10, but it wasn't my main hobby, so I played once a year in a tournament, and then as an adult, when my mum passed away, because it was her big thing, I decided I really want to get back into Scrabble. So
wow.
Yeah, I've been playing competitively for the past 6-7 years.
And you're playing at an extremely high level. We've been very happy seeing all the
you.
games so far. So who do you both have next for your matches, do you know?
Not sure.
I'm low.
No idea?
Need to get over that one first.
Yeah.
Fair enough. How's the tournament going for you both so far?
I'm happy with it so far, but long way to go.
Yes, there's still 2 full days and then another half day at the end. And then I understand you got married recently.
Yeah, a year ago now. Yeah.
That's awesome. And that's Alistair is living down in New Zealand now as well, right?
Yeah.
Great. Well, we'll let you grab some tea and get ready for your next matches.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Good luck.